The Sacramento Environmental Commission will be called to order. At this time, will the Secretary please take the roll call?
Laura Nickerson.
Here.
Stephanie Holstich. Christine Casey.
Here.
Dr. Anthony DeRigi.
Here.
Richard Hunn. Tom Mulson.
Here.
Eric Rivera Montez.
Here.
Mark White. We have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, I would like the commissioners to introduce themselves, and we will start on my left with Commissioner Tony.
Hi, I'm Tony DeRigi, a retired pediatrician from Kaiser Permanente and a member of the Sacramento Medical Society Public and Environmental Health Committee.
Good evening, Christine Casey, appointed by Sacramento County, currently work with the California Legislature.
I'm Mark White. I'm appointed by the county, and I was a consultant to the garbage industry.
My name is Laura Nickerson. I was appointed by Sacramento County. I'm a retired registered nurse, and I also do wildlife rehabilitation, rescue, and care and rehab.
Eric Rivera Montez. I was appointed by the City of Elk Grove, currently working at Sacramento Municipal Utility District in their Environmental Services Group, focusing on climate change issues.
Tom Mulson. I represent the cities of Folsom, Hialeton, and Galt. I'm a retired Aerojet engineer.
Good evening. My name is Jania Monasterio. I am the director for the Sacramento County Environmental Management Department.
Thank you. At this time, we have the floor open for any public comments. I know most of you are here for the awards, but if there's anybody here from the public that would like to comment on an item or an agenda item, you may do so now. All right, moving on. Next up, we have the 2023 Sacramento Environmental Commission Awards. We're very happy to see you all here, and we are very proud of these awards and proud of what you all are doing. So tonight, the Sacramento Environmental Commission recognizes citizens, businesses, or organizations based in Sacramento County that have demonstrated outstanding efforts to improve, protect, and steward environmental resources. We will be presenting 6 trophies to the winners of this year's environmental awards in no particular order. The people presenting the awards will be announced by 2 members of our commission's award committee, Mr. Eric Rivera Montez and Christine Casey.
Thank you very much. So our first winners are the American River Homeless Crew for outstanding environmental leadership. The American River Homeless Crews have been cleaning the American Parkway since the group was founded by Daniel Adderhall in 2013. He and over 1,000 unhoused volunteers clean up the parkway of thousands of pounds of trash and debris to protect the environment and keep the community from becoming, as Daniel describes it, a toxic wasteland of garbage. The crew works in conjunction with Sacramento Regional Parks, who removes the trash cleaned up by the volunteers. I understand Daniel is not here today, but if there's anybody from his crew that is here to accept the award, please come towards the podium. Not seeing anybody today?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so we'll make sure that he gets this award.
Yes. The next award winner is Miraday for outstanding environmental leadership and education. Miraday Living Labs promote the crucial ecological role of native arthropods and plants through hands-on mobile science education, living labs, gardens throughout the region, California native arthropods propagation, and on-site insectariums. They envision a world in which cities are cohabited by humans, native plants, and native arthropods, and where local observation of plants and arthropods serves as an accessible, equitable, and engaging launchpad into STEM education for people of all communities, while advancing scientific research. Current projects include the Seed Pile Project, the Sierra 2 Center Instructional Native Plant Garden, and the Urban Habitat Tracking Project, all of which invite people to become citizen scientists and contribute to the crucial data that inform decision-making. Accepting the award is Jason Prado, Senior Landscape Design, and Kate Hayes, Design Director. Please come to the podium to say a few words if you would like.
Thank you so much for the honor of receiving this award. You know, we are deeply committed to the Sacramento region, and you can see that in our seed pile project where we put down seeds of native plants and ask people in the community to be scientists and to track and monitor those seeds. We also have a body of work transforming lawns to native habitat, and we see each project is adding up into a cumulative whole, sort of a patchwork ecology where every one person and every individual in Sacramento can make a difference. So we thank you all and we're very honored to accept this award.
Congratulations. Thanks so much. Congratulations. And I will tell you guys that I did the seed pile project.
Oh, nice.
I did. Would you like to take a picture?
Sure.
Sure.
Yes, I went out to my 3 little sections and took pictures and put it in the computer. Okay.
The next award goes to the Mather Golf Course for Outstanding Environmental Leadership. The Mather Golf Course is certified as an Audubon Cooperative Sanctuary, an environmental education and certification program that helps golf courses protect the environment and promote environmental sustainability. The environmental components of this certification include site assessment, environmental planning, wildlife and habitat management, chemical use reduction and safety, water conservation, water quality management, and outreach and education. They have installed water bottle fillers to reduce plastic use and through sound maintenance practice have reduced chemical applications. As a result of their continued work on establishing and implementing numerous environmental and sustainability programs through water conservation and managing and improving native habitat, there is a flourishing native plant and animal population, including turtles, hawks, coyotes, and snakes. The course is hosting a First Green event, which will use the golf course as a living classroom where local students will experience hands-on STEM learning. Accepting the award on behalf of Mather Golf Course is Lance Fong, General Manager, and Logan Bloom, Superintendent. Please come to the podium to say a few words.
Yeah, I didn't really prepare anything to say today. Logan was supposed to be here to join me. He's our superintendent and actually leads the charge a lot of the environment. But what we do every day is just part of our culture, part of our company's culture, and part of our golf course's culture. Getting an award is just a little icing on the cake, I guess. So thanks for reading everything we do. That would have been most of my words there. So thank you.
The next award goes to Dr. Roland Brady for Outstanding Environmental Leadership. The SEC wishes to acknowledge and recognize Dr. Roland Brady for his efforts to expand, protect, and enhance green space and habitats for natural and recreational uses. Dr. Brady has been organizing and leading cleanup events along the American River since 2017. Crystal Tobias has partnered with Roland for the last 8 years, cleaning the waterway of Steelhead Creek in the American River Parkway. They have worked closely with the American River Parkway Foundation, River City Waterway Alliance, Sacramento County Parks Department, Reclamation District 1000, and other organizations. A project warranting special recognition is the cleanup activities he led on Steelhead Creek. His efforts included removing many tons of trash that covered the stream banks and channel where it impeded fish passage and water flow. This included thousands of plastic tarps and textiles on the channel bottom, choking out the oxygen needed to support aquatic life, which resulted in low production of invertebrate food species upon which fish and other organisms depend. Dr. Brady implemented an innovative project using draft horses to remove trash and debris that was too large or heavy for normal cleanup using hand labor. Dr. Brady continues to investigate using mechanical equipment to winch or haul large volumes of material from the stream beds. Accepting the award is Roland Brady and his colleague Crystal Tobias. Please come to the podium to say a few words if you'd like.
Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And I could not have done this anywhere without my field partner here, Crystal. For several years, we worked alone in the water doing this work. And when the horse project happened, it got greater recognition. And one of the best things that happened is this last year, oh God, meeting up with the River City Waterway Alliance. And it's a game changer for the watershed of the county. And I also want to recognize my appreciation to Sacramento County Regional Parks that has really stepped up and supported us to clean Steelhead Creek from its confluence with the Sacramento River at Bannon Island all the way up through the terminal end of it at West El Camino Avenue. And the difference is huge. And the collaboration of the other agencies, the American River Flood Control Agency and RD 1000, support from Sacramento Area Creeks Council and from Regional Sanitation and Sarah Save the American River, all have made major contributions to this effort, and we both appreciate it very much.
And Rich Mull.
And Rich Mull
Have to talk about
from the
him.
Water Board, the Regional Water Board.
Yeah.
Right.
So, thank you.
The next award goes to Cherry Island Golf Course for outstanding environmental leadership. Cherry Island Golf Course is also certified as an Audubon Cooperative Sanctuary, and in case you weren't here 5 minutes ago, I'll remind you that's an environmental education and certification program that helps golf courses protect the environment and promote environmental sustainability. The environmental components of this certification include site assessment, environmental planning, wildlife and habitat management, chemical use reduction and safety, water conservation, water quality management, and outreach and education. In alignment with their annual Audubon recertification, Cherry Island has initiated numerous environmental programs, including the installation of bird and bat boxes, turf reduction for water use reduction, increasing native habitat areas, and an extensive tree planting program. They are also committed to reducing pesticides, stream monitoring, and educational programs. Receiving the award on behalf of Cherry Island Golf Course is Phil Day, General Manager, and Juan Gonzalez, Superintendent. Please come forward to say a few words if you'd like.
Well, first I'd like to thank Sacramento County for giving us the opportunity to showcase the efforts that we put in at Cherry Island Golf Course. Also like to thank our company Courseco for having one of the four main core tenets of the company being environmental stewardship. I believe everyone deep down wants to maintain and help our environment thrive, so working for a company that expects efforts in this area allows us to find the time and the desire to help achieve these goals. We think it's very important to showcase the golf course can be more than just where people play golf. And on a daily basis, we focus on conserving energy and helping out the environment and wildlife dedicated areas. The animals on our course, we have birds, turtles, turkeys, coyotes, deers, and much more. So it's very much more than a golf course at Cherry Island. And once again, I'd like to thank you guys for the acknowledgement.
Thank you, guys.
All right, the next and final award of the night goes to the River City Waterway Alliance, RCWA. The River City Waterway Alliance is being recognized in a special category recognizing their work since the formation of the group in January 2023. This special category emphasizes emerging actions that are recently performed in 2023. The SEC wishes to recognize the RCWA for its efforts to expand, protect, and enhance green space or habitats for natural and recreational uses. RCWA is an all-volunteer group dedicated to cleaning, restoring, and protecting the imperiled waterways of the Sacramento region. RCWA works in partnership with public agencies, including Sacramento County Regional Parks and community groups, and raises awareness about environmental damage to our waterways. RCWA has hosted 160 volunteer cleanup events, which elicited 4,873 total volunteer hours and the removal of 571,410 pounds of trash and abandoned encampment debris from local waterways as of July. Accepting the award on behalf of River City Waterways Alliance is David Ingram, Lisa Sanchez, Mark Baker, Margarita Chavez, and Kathleen Ford. Please come to the podium to say a few words.
Well, on behalf of our volunteer group, I just want to thank you all for recognizing us, for having this award ceremony in the first place, and for recognizing individuals and groups that enhance the environmental health and wellness of this area. And we know that that's such an important area for all of us, especially considering the enormous amount of watershed that funnels through our beautiful capital city, and we're trying our best to maintain that. So thank you for recognizing us, for having this, to the other groups that have been honored here tonight. Thank you all so much. It takes a village, and we're trying to create that village. That the first thing we've tried to do is kind of illustrate the magnitude of the problem, because when you hear people say you really have no idea how bad it is, everyone kind of shakes their head. Yeah, we do. But people really don't. And so we've exposed that over the last year. And we are an emerging group. We formally announced and launched in January, but last year the group of folks here removed 694,000 pounds in 2022. So we're in it for the long haul. I'd like to thank some of the pioneers that started this movement, Dr. Roland Brady, Crystal Tobias, who are honored here tonight. We're so honored to be standing alongside them tonight because they are some of the pioneers that started working and exposing the problems that a lot of people don't see. Also, Bill Templin and Randy Smith of Arcade Adopt a Creek. And then Alta Chura, bless her heart, who started Sacramento Area Creeks Council so many years ago and really lit a fire and became a hero and a champion for our waterways. And although we're here to accept this award on behalf of the volunteer group, we asked everyone else to come here, not to observe, but to actually accept it with us, because we are all in this together. It's us, and we do this all together. We support each other. We work together. We do a lot of really, really tough work in the creeks. We get in the water. Waders, we pull out shopping carts that have been buried I think we pulled out a Price Club shopping cart and an Albertsons cart at the Bufferlands yesterday. So with a hand winch and mud up to our waist. So it's very, very arduous. We don't need to go to the gym, but just to kind of update some of our numbers, we've now done over 200 group events. We've removed 920,000 pounds this year alone of trash from our waterways or adjacent riparian habitats. We can actually see and feel the creek and water start to breathe again when we remove textiles that are choking, as Dr. Brady mentioned, really choking the life out of the creeks. And you can actually feel them starting to breathe, and bubbles and oxygen is starting to get below into the substrate under these creeks. You can actually see it happening in areas that were previously covered with trash 2 feet deep. Around Northgate this spring had a beautiful sunflower field, and it's so we could actually see it happening already. So thank you again. Thank you to you all. And this is just a small core of folks. Thank you. We're so honored and pleased and thank you and humbled, and we plan on continuing, and we're going to hit 1 million pounds within 30 days, and we're just going to celebrate again. Yeah.
Have everybody come up for the picture. Yes.
Come on.
Jam all up here.
Good idea. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody.
We take some photos if you want to step around the front. Yeah, please do. Yeah, whoever that is up there. Okay, okay. Come on. All for one, one for all.
We're not known for taking quick photos. We usually have a tripod.
Okay. Yes, perfect. All right. 1, 2, 3. No, I'm good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Keep going if you want.
One more time. Smile, everybody. Okay.
Yay!
Thank you all.
Oh my gosh. What a fun group.
Thank you, we tried. I mean, we clean up trash, so you got to make it good, right?
I'm going to make just a quick comment. Hi, while you folks are sitting down, I'd like to add a footnote to this event. We've been doing this for kind of a long time. We've had kind of a lot of awardees. You guys, in my view, have worked harder than most, more consistently than most, and you're taking care of something really important in our region. Thank you.
You know, as I sat and watched you all and listened to your stories, it gave me so much hope for the future and so much pride in our community. So once again, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I mean, I rehab and rescue wild animals and birds, and we just need more and more spaces for them to live among us. So I am just very, very honored to be in the same room with all of you. So thank you very much. I'm going to ask if the commissioners have any comments they'd like to say before we move on. And I will say that you are all welcome to stay for the meeting. We have a wonderful presentation by Dr. Kasiri, who is from the Health Department, Sacramento County Health Department. She gives us an annual update on what's going on. You're welcome to stay, but you don't have to. If you leave, we're not going to be upset. So it's up to you. But do any commissioners want to say anything before we move on? We're good? All right, so we're going to move on with the agenda at this point.
Thank you. Thank you.
So next up on our agenda, we have Dr. Kasiri. She is from the Sacramento County Health Department, like I just said, and she's going to be giving us a health update on the health of our county. Dr. Kasiri, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, commissioners. And before I delve into my presentation, even though they have left, I would like to say a very warm thank you to the awardees that just walked out of the room, because I appreciate the work that they do in cleaning up the environment. It's good not just for the animals and the plants, it's also good for us. And so I thank them again for the work that they do. And of course, they're doing it out of the goodness of their hearts, which makes it even greater. So I'm giving my annual report, and so we'll go right into it. I'm going to cover a few topics: communicable disease, and just to highlight a few things that we have had to deal with during this period. Also talk about our community health improvement plan and a couple of projects that we're working on, blue zones and edible food recovery. So in August of this year, there was an event. Some of you might be familiar with an obstacle event called Tough Mudder, where people go through different obstacles, and one of that involves going through mud. So you can see a picture of the kind of thing that they do. And so there was an event in Sonoma County in August, and after that event, Sonoma County got over 100 complaints of people reporting fever, rashes, headache, vomiting, muscle aches. Many of them did have to go to the doctor. A few did get admitted. Fortunately, no deaths. And for those where they were able to do a culture of the rash, they found that there was a bacteria called Aeromonas. So Aeromonas is common in the environment, especially in fresh water and in sludge, and of course with the warmer weather, no surprise that this was something that they dealt with. The good thing about this is that the disease is not transmissible from one person to another. It can also be treated with antibiotics. So we sent out an alert to our healthcare providers through the system that we have called California Health Alert Network, just to let them know if somebody showed up with a strange-looking rash, that they should remember to ask about whether they did attend this event. And after about a week or so, we didn't get any additional reports. But a warning, of course, to people who go for these events that there are risks when you participate. Also wanted to talk about triple-demic. This actually is going to be the first year where we don't have any health orders, or at least we don't have a health emergency. And so there are no community-wide health orders. And so there's, of course, a lot of concern because last year we did see quite an increase in respiratory syncytial virus, which is also called RSV. And then, of course, also an increase in flu. And, of course, COVID is still around. So concerns about what is going to happen this period. When you look at this chart on the left-hand side, you see the nationwide numbers over a period of time. And you can see that this year we are not at the epidemic levels, at least not yet. We're hoping we'll stay that way, but definitely continuing to monitor that. And then on the right-hand side, you see the tracking that we do for COVID virus. And you can see that there was a time where we saw an increase, but it has reduced quite a bit. So continuing to track that. The good news is that we do have vaccine now available for all three. The flu vaccine is available for anybody over the age of 6 months. The RSV is only available for the very young, and then also for those over the age of 60, and they're also giving it to pregnant moms because then they're able to transmit their protection to their young. The bad news also is that this year, with the new COVID vaccine, it's no longer being provided free because the federal supply we don't have any more of the federal supply. So now you have to get it either through your insurance or pay cash. We do have a little amount that we get through the county public health for vaccinating people who have no insurance or for people with Medi-Cal. So, of course, that has created some barriers for people, but it is available. So, especially for people that do have conditions that put them at risk for severe disease, highly encourage that you get the vaccination. One of the questions we've received, and we received quite a lot of emails from people who are now saying, why aren't we issuing a mask order for everybody in the healthcare community? And of course, especially because now we don't have a statewide order, so each county is making decisions separately. So you have areas like the Bay Area that are requiring all the healthcare workers, and in some cases, anyone who goes to a healthcare facility to wear a mask. And then you have others where they don't have any order. In Sacramento County, after a lot of discussions with staff and with the medical community, we decided that we would issue an order that we've had pre-COVID, which is that for people that work in healthcare, especially for direct patient care, that they need to be vaccinated with the flu vaccine. If not, then they have to wear a mask for the entire flu season. We will continue to monitor. If we do start seeing an increase in the other diseases, such as the flu or RSV, we will revisit and see if we need to broaden that mask order. But that's where we're at. So moving on, Sacramento County has been engaged in developing or producing a community health assessment, which required us to do an analysis of all the data that we get in public health, as well as doing surveys with our community partners, as well as residents within Sacramento County. And out of that, we came up with 7 themes, and they're listed there: infectious disease, maternal and child health, chronic disease, injury, social determinants of health, Alzheimer's, and mental health. And then the next step is developing a community health improvement plan. We've had several meetings where we've engaged with our community partners to find out what they think we should focus on based on the data, based on what they feel are the urgent needs within the community. And so the 3 priorities that were selected were food access, housing insecurity, and mental health. That does not mean that we're not going to focus on the others, but these are the 3 that we are going to put effort towards, and that will mean having work groups to develop action plans, because as you notice, all of those are issues that there's no one agency that has all the answers. Public health cannot work on these by ourselves, so we definitely need to work with members of the community. And so with time, we will have a community health improvement plan available. We do have the community health assessment posted on our website, so I will make sure that I send a link to Jill so that they can send it out to you. And if you have any questions about any of the data that you see, please feel free to reach out. And then blue zones. I don't know if any of you are familiar with blue zones, or if any of you have actually watched the series on, I think it's Netflix? Yeah, great. So we were provided with an opportunity through the state. The state gave us seed money to actually implement this process called Blue Zones, where we select certain communities, because we can't do it countywide. So we have selected 2 communities where we're going to work to delve into the data, especially to look at factors that contribute to the lifespan, as you can see from the data there, the difference that you can see, 10-year difference from one zip code to another. And so being able to look at the factors that contribute to that, especially those that are either social or individual, and then work on the solutions that Blue Zones had come up with that they have found have worked in other communities to help people to actually be able to, one, improve the communities that they live in, and also to help them to make healthier choices. And the result that we're hoping to see is that we will see an improvement in the lifespan, and that people will live healthier and happier lives. Of course, the reason that we got the funding was because of Alzheimer's. The state does have an Alzheimer's work group that came up with the recommendation, and Sacramento was chosen because we're looking at our demographics. We do have a large percentage of our population that is in that high-risk group, older age, and we have seen with our data a large increase in individuals dying due to Alzheimer's complications. So our hope is to be able to have a more dementia-friendly environment, and so to be able to help even people prevent dementia, and also for those that have dementia, make it safer for them in the community. Another one that we're working with, and actually this one we are partnering with environmental management and the waste management department as well, is the SB 1383, which requires that 20% of food that would otherwise go into the landfill be recovered. And there are 2 tiers. The first tier, as you can see, is mainly those like grocery stores and farmers markets, where the food has a longer shelf life. And then tier 2, which is we're supposed to meet that target by January 1, or try to meet that target by January 1 of 2024. Tier 2 has more of the food that is prepared food, so a shorter shelf life. And so in our discussions, we find that the biggest challenge we have is in being able to make sure that that food is recovered and is able to go to people that need it. So this will actually meet 2 goals. One definitely is to be able to divert food from going into the landfill, but also being able to meet our equity and food insecurity goals, and be able to provide more food for people that need it. And that is the end of my brief update. So I want to see if there are any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Kasiri. I have some questions, but I'll open it up to the other commissioners first. Anybody have questions for Dr. Kasiri?
Well, I've got a comment.
Okay.
I understand for those people that don't like to make multiple trips to go get vaccinated, you can get both the flu shot and the COVID shot at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm choosing one in each shoulder myself.
Yes.
And I've already
I know
asked-
someone in this audience who just got that done.
And I'm of the age, so I did ask if I could get all 3 at the same time, and they said no. That's my comment.
All right. I have a you have a question? Okay, go ahead.
I have a couple of comments. I mentioned to you earlier that my wife died of Alzheimer's, so I have kind of a great interest in that topic. And just looking at your blue zone thing, that is one of the strategies. Quit smoking, eat right, walk, talk, and a couple other things. Just really common sense things. But the thing that maybe in addition to what you've mentioned here, and I can't seem to read while I'm talking, but I don't know what we're doing here. The deaths from Alzheimer's, the increase in deaths, that's really interesting, except if you add that there's been a significant decrease in deaths from cancer at that same time, where Alzheimer's is the only one with a great increase. Alzheimer's is also the only disease of the top 10 killers in this country for which there is no way to slow it unless you're at the very earliest stages, and it always results in death. It's something I hope we can work on more. Thank you for your efforts so far.
Thank you. I agree with you. I think it's something that we need to pay more and more attention to. And fortunately, in the past few years, we have been able to get additional funding from the state to have more resources towards looking at dementia diseases, including Alzheimer's.
Go ahead, Christine.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I have a few questions. The blue zones, you mentioned that you were focusing on 2 communities. Are those known, or are they in development of, are they able to be known?
They are known, but I think I don't want to steal their thunder in making the announcement. So now maybe what I'll say is one is in the north and one is in the south. And definitely, I'll check first if it's okay to provide that information, and I'll definitely email it to you. My apologies, I should have checked that first.
I'm just curious too, like where they are on the spectrum of the age life expectancy discrepancy and what other indicators they have and how they were selected and what we can hope to kind of find out from the study and assessment.
Those are all very good questions. We looked at a lot of factors. One, of course, was the lifespan. And yes, they are ones that are on the lower spectrum. They also are communities that have a lot of other disadvantages in terms of resources, in terms of rates of chronic diseases. And so we felt that these were communities that equity-wise, they made a lot of sense for us to focus on.
Switching gears on the Tough Mudder thing, you mentioned that kind of compete at your own risk. Do you know if that race organization or others, are they just adding it to the disclaimer, or are they doing some sort of testing before to like do some sampling of these mud pits that people are jumping into?
I think it would be difficult for them to do any sampling. As far as I know, this is the first time they've had anything to this magnitude. They are very aware. They were informed of what was going on, and I think some of the participants called them. But I think, for individuals that choose to participate, they do sign documents saying that there are risks that they are taking.
Hope they have to add the rash risk on there if it's not already.
Yeah.
Okay, I could have a million more questions, but I'm going to limit myself to one more. In the tracking of COVID virus, is that through wastewater, or what is the metric?
Thank you for pointing that out. Yes, this is wastewater. It's one of the ways that we track. And right now, it is probably the most accurate because with a lot of people doing the home testing, if you recall at the beginning, a lot of the testing was being done in healthcare, in the healthcare system. So we could, and they were reporting those results to us, so we could get pretty accurate results about the rates within the community. But now with a lot of people doing home testing, it is still useful information, but it doesn't give the whole picture. So we are depending more and more on the wastewater surveillance.
Is this data available on the county website? The tracking?
We are going to make it available soon, so I will send that link out as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have a question. Hi. Regarding the decision about masking in healthcare facilities, how was that made? Was there consultation with the various healthcare groups in Sacramento, or
Not
since other
so much
counties?
with the healthcare groups, but with some of the physicians that we've worked with. We also did consult with the state as well as with the surrounding counties. And as you can imagine, there are a lot of differing opinions as to what should be done. Eventually, what we felt was the best course for us to take right now is that, seeing that the rates of COVID are pretty stable, we wanted to put the focus on vaccination, and that's why we said vaccinate or mask, because when we first implemented the vaccination mandate, the vaccination rates in healthcare facilities soared. It used to be within the 30 to 60% of healthcare workers vaccinated. After we implemented the mandate, it went up to 90%. So we felt that that's what we wanted to focus on. The other question I've been asked is, why didn't we include COVID in it? Reason was there's a lot that was changing with COVID. We were still waiting for the new vaccine to be available. And it's not as accessible as we'd like it to be. So we didn't want it to become too much of a barrier, but we definitely strongly recommend that healthcare workers do get vaccinated for COVID as well with the new vaccine.
Thanks. Well, if COVID rates go up, would that be reconsidered then? Yeah.
Yes, we continue to monitor, and that's what we told the healthcare community, is that if we are seeing an impact, especially if we're seeing an impact on the healthcare system, and unfortunately our healthcare system has this narrow of a margin in terms of getting to 100%. So we're going to monitor that really carefully, and if we feel that there is a huge impact on the healthcare system, we will consider extending or expanding the mandate.
Thank you.
Well, I knew if I waited. Oh, you have another one? Sure. Okay.
I had a quick question on the edible food recovery.
Yes.
I think it's a really noble goal. I've heard somewhere that the United States throws away more food than all of Europe consumes, so I think it's a step in the right direction. I am curious, how do you track something like this? How do you enforce and track or monitor? Is it on the restaurant's responsibility to do that, or how did this, the 20%? Is that too early to know?
The good thing is that we have EMD here, and they're helping us with the tracking. Jania, did you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. So EMD is part of the 1383 implementation, and so we will be doing inspections. So this will be part of the routine inspection, and then we will be looking at the requirements for record keeping. And they have agreements with food purveyors that they would be able to donate the food to. And so we'll be looking at those records and then reporting that to Waste Management, and that's reported to the state. So it will be tracked.
Yes, there are reporting requirements to the state. And also, we got some seed money from the Waste Management Department, and so we will have grants available for food distributors, so food banks and some of the community-based organizations that are involved in food distribution will be eligible to apply for that funding to be able to increase their ability to store the food appropriately. Especially our concern, as I mentioned, is with the prepared food and making sure that we have refrigerated trucks and ways of making sure that the food remains good, because we don't want people to fall sick as a result.
Actually, following up on that comment, I worked for the state in the waste management thing several years ago, and we were at that time thinking, how stupid is this? Man, that half a sandwich is going to waste. The issue was the liability for giving that to people. It sounds like that's been overcome.
Yes, and again, environmental management does the education, so I'll let Jania speak to that.
Yes, so EMD is putting on various work groups, and so we'll be educating a lot of these organizations on food safety, how to handle it, how to store it, so that transportation occurs. So yes, we'll be part of that, making sure food safety is upheld.
Well, I thought if I waited long enough, I'd have my questions already asked by the commissioners, which they pretty much did. The only thing I was going to ask you, Dr. Kasiri, is with the Blue Zone thing, when is that going to launch? When is the pilots going to launch for those areas?
So we have a steering committee launch at the end of this month, and then the general community launch will be in November. I can send those dates as well through Jill.
That's wonderful. I would really encourage the commissioners to watch. It's a 4-part Netflix series, and it goes through the blue zones all around the world. And in the last part of it, they discuss this pilot study that they did in some town in America, a couple towns, and were able to increase their lifespans. Like within just a few years, they were noticing a difference by putting these things in. So I'm very excited that you guys get to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there any other questions?
I have one follow-up comment. On the wastewater COVID testing, I'd like to point out that that's only Sacramento Regional that's been doing the testing. The other wastewater plant in the county does not. I've asked. And it's a funding issue because it costs money, and it's a small plant, it's City of Galt, and they haven't got the money to do the testing. So it's just Sacramento Regional.
Right, and actually they're working with, I think, a research group in the Bay Area that is actually doing the testing.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Kasiri. We always enjoy having you come give us an update. Thank you. Well, it looks like we have, is that Daniel? All right. Looks like we have Daniel Adderholt from the American River Homeless Crew. So we're going to go ahead and present his award. Daniel, we're going to go say a few words first, but you can come on down.
All right. Thank you for coming, Daniel. So the American River Homeless Crews have been cleaning the American Parkway since the group was founded by Daniel Adderholt in 2013. He and over 1,000 unhoused volunteers clean up the parkway of thousands of pounds of trash and debris to protect the environment and keep the community from becoming, as Daniel describes it, a toxic wasteland of garbage. The crew works in conjunction with Sacramento Regional Parks, who removes the trash cleaned up by the volunteers. Accepting the award is Daniel Adderholt it's just Daniel Adderholt today. Thank you for coming.
We're gonna go right here.
Sorry, we came straight from the hospital. He's here. Well, let's do not the best, but sure it's gonna make the end of the year, Yeah. It's gonna make it. If you wanna get pictures. That's okay, I'm like, I got the grace going. We just can't, but thank you though. All right. Sorry. Okay. Thank you for being flexible and just totally amazing on going with the flow. Yeah. This will be quite a picture for the records. That's for sure. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to say smile, Daniel. I don't know if you can smile. He's smiling. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm going to get another. Perfect. Well, we are so happy to have the organization. Congratulations. Yes. Very well. Go home and get some rest. Thank you. Have a good night, guys. Thank you. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for being flexible and everything. We were just trying and they were just having one test. Okay.
I'm glad you made it. I'm so glad you made it.
And I was like, are you going like this? He goes, you're damn right I'm going. Bless his heart. Take it to the box. Like, okay, it's America, right? My dad will say only in America. I know.
Okay, moving on with the agenda. We have the letter here of the 2 recommendations that the commission was intending on sending to the Climate Task Force. Where is it here? It was sent out to you guys a little earlier. Hopefully everybody has had a chance to review it. And so my question to the committee is there any edits or concerns? Yes, Mark.
I have one in paragraph 2. The wording is the county shall follow the lead. I think we maybe should say the county should follow the lead.
Instead of shall?
Yeah, since we're not their boss.
That's fine. Did you hear that, Jill?
I got it.
Okay. Anything else? That's a minor one, so that's good. All right. So if there are no further comments, let's take a roll call. Jill, on approval or not to send this off?
Okay. Mark White? Oh, let's make a motion
Yeah,
first. I'm
first
sorry.
off, I'd make a motion that we
Right.
approve this document and send it on.
Motion by Tom.
Second.
I do have Christine pointed out my name in the back is misspelled. Laura. That's all.
Thank you. Got it.
It's a Greek spelling.
Okay, I'll go ahead and take a roll call. Mark White,
Approve or yes?
Eric Rivera Montez,
Aye.
Laura Nickerson,
Aye.
Tom Mulson,
Aye.
Dr. Anthony DeRigi.
Yes.
Did I miss
You missed me.
Christine Casey?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. All right, next up, we have a Sacramento County Sustainability Update from John Lundgren, the Sustainability Manager. I think he's right there.
Good evening, everybody. Real quick, a bunch of things. So SB 1383, another part of that is mandatory collection in this facility, for example. So as you leave, take note of the beautiful 3-bin system out in the public lobby. This building has been serviced. We have a rollout plan for the entire county. I do want to let you know that each one of those 3-bin systems you see is $1,100. They're pricey. But please take a look at them. They're very nice. They hold up to emptying because it's a steel shell and the actual bin's on the inside.
Each bin or each triple?
Each set of 3.
Okay.
That is not what we're placing in all the employee break rooms. It's a more scaled down version of Rubbermaid containers, but they're also very nice. And so we're rolling that out. We want to make sure that we get our house in order here at the county, as you heard Janaea and Dr. K and everyone is heading out to work on edible food recovery. With regard to the letter you just approved, I have the privilege of overseeing that Climate Emergency Mobilization Task Force, and I just want to let you know when you leave tonight, depending who leaves first, just outside behind me in hearing room 1 or 2, I don't know which side it is, but that is our Outreach and Education Subcommittee that is currently meeting. So it's a small group, and it's a couple of our young people, and so if you get a chance, take a look in, smile. They're doing the task force business there, specifically with trying to, how do we get the word out? How do we educate? How do we let everyone know what's going on? And to that point, thank you. Good job on elevating sustainability and climate with the awards you did tonight. That was a very great presentation. And I know the difficulty in doing that. And even though no one's here and this isn't being telecast or anything, I want to repeat too, thank you to all of those people doing that work, because this gets overwhelming. And to know that those dedicated people are out there is helpful on days when you feel overwhelmed. And let's see, lastly, today was the starting day for Jason Scott Sheets, my new Civic Spark Fellow. And if you remember me saying in past meetings, that's an 11-month fellowship. He'll be with me until September of next year, primary focus on carbon farming. So what a perfect night to have heard everything we heard about these awards and getting the streams healthier. Jason's going to be working with our ranchers and farmers to try to incentivize and help educate on the importance of carbon farming, how we can do different cultural practices with the way we approach our farming and ranching. And I'm very open-ended on what I expect from him. As you know, the Climate Action Plan, that's one of our biggest greenhouse gas reduction measures. At a minimum, my vision is that we have some sort of a toolkit and web presence where farmers and ranchers that are at all interested can go and see and get energized about this. But my real dream is that by the end of his fellowship, we'll have made a partnership with a farmer or rancher somewhere that has already demonstrated or is demonstrating these principles. And we actually go have a field day at his or her property and show other farmers and ranchers how it's done. Because if you don't know, that's the model. That's how the USDA does it. That's how adults learn, especially in the farming and ranching community. So very excited to have him on board. And with that, I'm available for any questions you have.
Any questions from the commissioners? For
question.
John? Yes, Tony.
On the recommendations we just talked about, how many recommendations has the task force received? Do you have an approximately?
I would say, well, from public, not very many formal. They've been all providing, so the chair asked each of the task force members, we have 13 seats, we have 12 seating appointed right now. That's the easier way to say it. We have one vacancy in an environmental justice seat. The chair asked each of them to come forward, just like he did with this group, come up with some county shoulds. And so, from the 12 of them, there's 2 or 3 from each of them. We have a small group of stakeholders that follows us from meeting to meeting, and you've provided, they've reached out to a couple of other groups. So I'd say they have about 50. Not 10 and not 1,000.
Okay. And will the task force respond to the recommendations, give some feedback on them to the people who made them?
Not directly, no. You'll see the feedback in the form of, and thank you for asking the question, you might be leading me to what I should have told you, is the reason they asked you for that information is they are getting prepared to put out version 1.0, we are, of that climate emergency response plan that the board directed us to do when they declared a climate emergency in 2020. And so they need those recommendations because, much like I told them, their power is in gathering community input. Right? I'm a bureaucrat. And so, we made the draft climate action plan, right? That's out there. But the power of the task force is bringing all that community input in so that when the board hears their recommendations, they know that's been filtered through a robust public process. And so that's why they're asking, because starting next month, they're going to probably start floating and voting on these pillars of recommendations that'll form the version 1.0 of that climate response plan. Why 1.0? It's a living document. There is no way that in the 12 months they've been there, they're going to come out next month or even in 2 months with a climate emergency response plan that details how we get to 2030 carbon neutrality. They're going to come down with pillars that say, here is the areas where we need to focus, and here's where we think we can act now. And then, as we've said before, and it's our chair's term, then there's the moonshot. Because the challenge we have is we don't want to lose the vision of 2030, but we also understand there's going to be some things we need to put on the table to show what we can do now. And that full list of what 2030 is going to take is going to be a really tough pill to swallow. And we don't want the moonshot to preclude all the other pillars that are probably a little more easier to act on. We don't want to get so hung up on arguing about the moonshot that we don't act on the other things we can do. So I can't tell you how happy I am with the work of the task force and that they've really, I didn't know, right? And I tell them my job is not to squelch you, and I didn't know where they would come down, but I think they have struck a very good balance of keeping the fire lit so that the county pushes, but also understanding that if they just take the moonshot, the board's not going to have a lot of place to make policy from. But by doing the different pillars and recommendations, there's going to be places there that the board can say, yes, we need staff to start working on that. Then there'll be a more vibrant and robust public discussion about those other things that we need to do to get to 2030 all of the way. But they do fully intend, because I know there's been discussion of 2030, 2045. No, our task force is going 2030. That's what their recommendations are going to be involved with.
Well, please relay to them to ask us for any other recommendations they would like from us. And I'm assuming we'll be able to look at the version 1.0 at some point in the future.
Absolutely.
And make recommendations. So looking forward to that. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Just
Mark
one
had
more
a question.
comment, John. And that is when you have, I'm assuming you're going to find a rancher or a farmer interested in carbon farming. That's not the right word, I know. Is it possible maybe to invite the commissioners out to that same demonstration?
Oh, of course. Be happy to. Yeah. I'm happy to say already, Stan Van Vleck Jr. is a farmer and rancher the county's worked with quite a bit. He's already committed to me. He said, John, is it going to be voluntary? I said, yep. He says, you got my 100% support. He says, you make it mandatory, I'll fight you tooth and nail. But if it's voluntary and incentive-based, he says, you have my support. And that was in relation to taking these concepts to the county's Ag Advisory Committee over 2 years ago, where we heard similar feedback. Well, that won't work here. You don't understand. You can't make me do it. And so to have Stan, who has made that Van Vleck Ranch a working ranch, where he's been able to keep that in the family and not have it subdivided, to have his support will be a big big important thing. Plus that location of the Van Vleck Ranch right there on Highway 16 outside of Rancho Marietta, it fits in an ecotone that is right in that transition from the foothills to the valley. And Stan and his family have a lot of important habitat out there that we've already worked with him to protect and done some grant applications. So not saying he'll be the partner, but we already have an ally and the county's working on establishing more of those. But I can't stress enough, the feedback we've already received from the farming and ranching community is voluntary, 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 and you'll have our support.
Right. Any other questions for John? Okay, thank you, John, for the update. Much appreciated. Our next item is to approve the September 18 minutes. May I have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Thank you. Can I have a second? Okay. Jill, will you take roll, please?
Mark White,
Aye.
Eric Rivero Montez,
Aye.
Laura Nickerson,
Aye.
Tom Mulson,
Aye.
Dr. Anthony DeRigi,
Aye.
Christine Casey.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Next up, we have the EMD Director's Report from Janea Monasterio. Am I saying that right? Janea Monasterio? Did I say that right?
You're close, Monasterio.
Monasterio, Director of the Sacramento County Environmental Management Department.
Awesome. So I thought I'd come down here because it's a little bit easier to face you all instead of over to the side. So EMD's update is I wanted to highlight a lot of the workshops and classes that we've been putting on over the last year, and then what we're looking forward or looking to do in 2024. So as you can see on the overhead or the projector here, we have a class coming up on November 15th, and this is for cockroach integrated pest management for food establishments. So this is a free workshop that we're rolling out to our retail food businesses so that they can come in and we can talk to them about types of cockroaches, signs of infestation, prevention methods, elimination tools, and how to maintain a facility free of cockroaches. This is a very common occurrence this time of year, and so we want to provide the facilities with the tools that they need so they're successful in an inspection and also for year-round, that they can maintain these practices and really have a facility that's free from these kinds of pests and the infestation that can sometimes occur. So we're excited about that. We also, just looking back earlier in the year, we did a series of classes for our recreational pools and spas, and this was for the public pools and spas. They have an annual inspection in the summertime. And so for that period of time, it's about 3 months, starts in June, runs through August. We do multiple classes so that we can bring in these operators and these owners and provide them, again, with the tools, the resources, the information, so they'll be successful for an inspection. They can get everything ready to go. We talked a lot about 1383, SB 1383. So we did some classes already on 1383 for Tier 1 facilities. So those are the larger facilities, grocery stores, distribution centers. You know, what are the requirements? What do they need to do? Answer their questions and help them get ready. Tier 2 is coming up. We're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be bringing them in, helping them understand what they need to do. Let's see. We've got ongoing food safety courses. So we're doing those classes on an ongoing basis where owners, operators can come into our classrooms style workshops and we answer questions. We teach them basic food safety. We help them so they're ready for their inspection. They'll be successful in that inspection, and they can maintain that all throughout the year. So what are we looking at for 2024? A lot of the same. So basically, we understand that compliance is really achieved with education and outreach. And so we're utilizing our database system to understand better what the needs are within our facilities. And these are across all of our programs. So we can tailor classes, we can tailor workshops, we can provide very specific information that's really what these businesses need, because those are the gaps. So we're going to be looking at 2024, providing a lot of classes and outreach. It makes for a better inspection. It makes for a better relationship with our businesses. It increases compliance, which is always a great thing. We don't have to spend a lot of time trying to get compliance. Businesses don't have to spend a lot of time trying to be in compliance. And then also it decreases a lot of the issues we may see in the community, such as foodborne illnesses and outbreaks. So it's better for everybody across the board. That education and outreach is there for them from the beginning. And so we're going to be working towards that in this year coming up. Any questions for me?
I have a question. You know, a Thai restaurant in a neighborhood that I frequent is, had a big problem with cockroaches recently. And I'm not aware that cockroaches themselves are vectors of disease, but how are they correlated with foodborne illness? Or, you know, what is the connection with cockroaches? Is it mainly cleanliness or?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of aspects within that. I mean, the California Retail Food Code is part of that suite of vermin. And so those pest infestations or pests that are found during an inspection, they are required that the facility takes measures to eradicate them. So then, and that's in those instances, that's where we would close a facility so they can have a company come in and do that cleaning. And then once they have that done, they give us a call. We'll come back out and do that final inspection, and then we'll clear the facility and they can reopen.
It's difficult to eliminate them, I understand. I think this restaurant failed like 3 times.
Yeah, they're very hard to eliminate. And that's why we wanted to do this class and we wanted to do these workshops, because there are things that facilities can do ahead of time, things that they can look for, so that say large-scale infestations aren't occurring, that they can catch them early. And so that's really our goal, is to teach and educate facility owners and operators so they don't get to a point where it's almost, it's very difficult to eradicate the vermin or the pests.
So it's a sign of just the hygiene control in the restaurant and everything, yeah.
It's a lot of factors.
Yeah.
One of the things that we look at is routes of entry. So older buildings sometimes have a hard time because there's little areas where they can get inside the building. So that's finding those places and plugging them up. So there's that. And then ensuring that, once they get in, there's adequate traps. There's ability to find it early instead of waiting for, a mating to occur and then larger populations to exist.
Thanks.
That's a good question.
Any other questions for Janaea?
Yeah, I have a comment and a couple questions. When we first started the food inspection program, I was on a commission at that time, and I asked the director at that time, Mel Knight, about enforcement versus compliance. And he says, oh, no, you want compliance rather than enforcement, because by the time you get to enforcement, people are getting sick, and that's not our job. Okay? So I just want to make that comment.
That's great, yes.
And therefore, that leads me to my question, and that is, these classes you put on, are they listed on your website, or, what's the outreach? Do you outreach by the paperwork permits issued to these various businesses, or?
No, that's a great question. We do everything and anything we can do to get the word out. So we have flyers that we post. We send out emails to businesses. We collect email addresses and we send them out, so we paper that. We make sure that we tell facilities during inspections, hey, there's this class coming up. If you're interested, give them the information. We have a social media account, so we use social media to put out these flyers. This is actually posted on Facebook. Christine was talking about, I think, Christine, you mentioned you saw it on Facebook? Yeah. So everywhere we can get the word out, we'll do that. So there's multiple methods in order for us to do that. It's a great question.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up on the agenda is to have the commissioners report back on any environmental issues that they found from the agencies they're monitoring. Anybody?
I've got a public announcement, I guess.
You can do that, Tom.
All right.
Go right ahead.
Well, I'm involved with the Consumers Groundwater Authority, and early next month, first week of November, they're going to have a couple public workshops. Everything you want to know about groundwater and what the Consumers Groundwater Authority is doing. The first workshop is Wednesday, November 1st, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., and it's at the Herald Fire Station, 12746 Ivy Road in Herald. The second workshop will be on Saturday, November 4th, at 10 a.m., 10 a.m. to noon, and it will be at the Wilton Community Center, 9717 Colony Road, Wilton, California. Now, since this meeting's being taped. If you did miss that, you can always go back and watch it again. That's it.
Anybody else? All right. So before we adjourn the meeting, I would really like to thank our Environmental Awards Committee, Christine Casey, Richard Hun, and Eric Rivero Montez, as well as our administrative assistant, Jill Cohen, who put together this beautiful awards that just inspired me for sure. And a big thank you. I know they had to meet many, many times, and Jill had to do many, many phone calls and many emails to put this all together. So I wanted to give you all a sincere, sincere thank you. Our next meeting will be in next month, November 27th. That's after Thanksgiving at the EMD facility on White Rock Road at 6 p.m. Otherwise, meeting is adjourned.